I'm Joshua Waddles, the Malvern Daily Record, and I've been up all night working on my British accent so I can talk to you about Doctor Who. I've been watching the Christopher Eccleston series, and I believe I'm finally pronouncing his name right. Yay! My coworker Eric Moore lent me the DVDs, and I'm going to stop the accent there. For the Christopher Eccleston Doctor, the Ninth Doctor. And I'm going to focus on the last 3 episodes. It gets majorly psychological with that alien Blaine, I think her name was, Blair Blaine. I don't have my notes, but anyway. We've seen her before as the first alien invasion, and they killed a lot of people. They were the flatulent aliens. You know, her entire suit is the person she killed and made their skin into a suit. But, yeah, it starts off, she decides not to kill this person who, I guess, this person is onto her, this lady who's onto her, because she's pregnant. So you get a little glimpse of, I don't know how to say it, I guess humanity, even though she's an alien. And that's what, and it's kind of this back and forth. The Doctor captures her, he's going to take her to her own planet. She tells him, I've already been sentenced to die there, they're going to kill me. And he tries to do it anyway, and she basically spends the whole time begging for her life, arguing with her. Basically the conclusion is, you know, you're a killer too, is what she's saying to him. She tells him about how she spared that lady's life, and he tells her, well, that's how you deal with the guilt. Sometimes you kill lots of people, but sometimes you let them go because they're pregnant or they beg, and that's how you live with yourself. And she says, only a killer would know that, which is exactly true about the Doctor, in a huge way. And then, well, in that episode, we get the first glimpse of the whatever magical forces inside the TARDIS, and you know, this is a weird thing. I guess for any kind of gizmo that powers a machine that can travel to any point in space and time, sometimes alternate realities later on, I guess it's gotta be weird like that. It turns her into an egg, so he can give her some family to basically be born again, I guess you could say. Happy ending, sort of. You know, except for all the people she killed, they don't come back. But that little preview of the whatever mojo energies inside the TARDIS, that comes back again. We get to see the Daleks again. I get to see how they came back. Apparently, yeah, and I loved this reality TV episode. He's in the future. He's playing Big Brother. Rose is playing You Are the Weakest Link. The losers die. Or so they thought. They're actually being teleported out. You know, Rose survives that, but for most people, they're used, the people who lose these games are used as biomass to create more Daleks. And that's how they repopulated themselves, and also drove them nuts. They created their own religion, which is something that Daleks kind of wouldn't do. Now they're basically more machine than any sort of intelligent thing. Kind of soulless, basically. But they hate themselves because they're composed of human biomatter, and suggests if there's anything human about them, they consider that blasphemy. But you know, the Daleks, they've got kind of checkmate here, and I kind of hated this. You know, I get it. It's Doctor Who, and it's not. You can't really call it a Deus Ex Machina, however in the world you pronounce it, because it was foreshadowed that this TARDIS energy is bizarre, can do who knows what, but basically it turned Rose into a god, that she could just, whew, all the Daleks are gone. She brought a whole bunch of people back to life, I think was what happened. There was a price to pay though. It would have killed her, except the Doctor had to absorb that energy out of her, which killed him. And so that's how he began the regeneration from Christopher Eccleston turned into David Tennant. Now I was wondering how he died, but I feel like Christopher Eccleston, he was kind of like a, I don't know how to say it, an introductory Doctor. That's how, what he technically is, what he would be in a reboot anyway, but I felt like he was never meant to be like a, I don't know how to say it, a lingering character, a big part of the canon, basically. I think he's basically meant to It felt like he was just meant to be the guy who brings the viewers back in and transitions to David Tennant, basically. It felt like he was just a pre-David Tennant. That's probably insulting, but it would explain why it's so hard to see him on BBC. But anyway, now I'm working on the David Tennant years, the 10th Doctor. I'm probably not going to vlog those. These are not nearly funny enough. I did try. I tried a little bit, but anyway. I'd like to leave you, though, with one last thought. One last thought, gents. There is no such thing as American English. There is English, and then there's incorrect. Cheerio.